Today, we'll be doing an oil change on a 2015 Yamaha R3. We're going to be using the Factory Racing Parts Oil Change Kit. The tools that we'll need for this job are a 12mm socket and ratchet. We're going to need an oil filter socket, a drain pan, and some rags are always handy as well. The kit itself will come with 3 quarts of our fully synthetic 10W40 oil. This bike takes approximately 2.2 quarts of oil, which I've put in my container here. Our kit will also come with a new crush washer and a new oil filter as well. So the first step will be to remove our drain plug. And I do want to point out that I did warm this engine up before starting this process. So we're just going to take a 12mm socket and ratchet to remove the drain plug. You don't need to worry about removing any fairings or panels. It is very easily accessible from the left side of the bike. So once we get that drain plug out, we want to make sure that we still have our old drain plug washer still on there, which we do. And we're just going to let that drain out. Now, when I started this video, I didn't realize that this bike had an aftermarket filter that requires a 17mm wrench. So that's what I'm doing right now to get the filter loose. It is just above the drain bolt. And just like when we're removing the drain plug, we were looking for the washer, as you remove the oil filter, you want to make sure that that top O-ring is still attached to the oil filter as well. It's unlikely, but it does happen. Okay, we're ready to replace our drain plug now. You want to make sure you get that new drain plug washer on there. I always like to point out that a drain plug washer does 2 things. Yes, it is a sealing washer, but it is also a torque cushion. The reason that is because as you tighten the drain plug, you'll start to feel that washer start to collapse as you tighten it. And once you start to feel that washer collapse, that's usually about as tight as you need to go. Alright, we're ready to place our oil filter now. You want to make sure you get that filled up with oil, that you get that top ring lubricated with oil as well to make sure it's easy to get off the next time. And we're just going to thread that in by hand. Then we're going to take a rag with some brake clean or carb clean, and we're going to get the filter itself as clean as you can, and we're just going to get that filter as tight as you can by hand. Alright, we're ready to add our oil now. Like I said, this bike does take 2.2 quarts of oil with a filter change, and it's always a good idea just to keep an eye on that sight glass. And you want to fill it up until you have just a small bubble right at the top of the sight glass like we have here. The bike has not been started yet, which we're going to do right now. And as we start the bike, we're looking for that oil to circulate and for it to move through the sight glass. So as you see the oil start to disappear out of the sight glass, that's a very good sign. That means that everything's working as it should. We have oil pressure and that the oil is flowing through the oil filter. So I gave the bike a few minutes to settle down after shutting it off. And as you can see, our oil level is right where it needs to be at the top line. So there you have it, an oil change on a 2015 Yamaha R3 using the Factory Racing Parts Oil Change Kit. These instructions will apply all the way up to the 2022 model. Thanks for watching.